Okay, so here we are, and this has been something that a lot of you have been looking forward to. I've got John from hashtag Hope for SA, and he's going to give us a little bit of an oversight and a background on how he thinks about these things and how he sees things. And I'm going to obviously ask him a few questions and just get some clarity for us. This is not going to be a grilling. This is a nice chat, an exchange of ideas.
Yeah.
John, can you start by telling us a little bit of the motivation behind creating Hope for SA?
Thank you so much, Colin. And also, let me just use this opportunity to greet your followers and your listeners, and wherever they are listening and watching from. It is really my greatest pleasure to be on your show. My colleague, Diane Rogers, she is our Secretary General at HESHOCO for South Africa, was with you, and I saw that you guys had a wonderful time. You enjoyed yourself, and she came back, and she really promoted your show, and I mean, and that's when I learned about, for the first time, I learned about your show, and I said to Diane, you know what? I love somebody who is honest, somebody who can speak his mind, and somebody who is not out there to impress. And that is exactly who you are, Colleen. And I just want to honor you for who you are, and for, you call the spade a spade. And I mean, we lack that characters in South Africa. I wish that we could have politicians, exactly, politicians who can speak like you. But
John,
yes,
I always I always make a joke.
yeah.
And excuse the Burans, I call a spade, but
Yeah.
sometimes I call a spade a fucking bulldozer.
There it goes. That's what I love. One of the stories that you told when I was listening is the whole scenario of the bus. Oh, that was for me an excellent metaphor. And I promise you, I'm going to use that. I know that I'm going to have to use that somewhere. So, but thank you so much. My name is John Mathuhle. Ek is 'n plaas boetjie. Ek het hierso in die Vrystaat gebore and op die plaas. And all of my life, I've been in the small communities, in the small towns, and that's where I feel that my freedom and my soul is actually free when I'm here. Ek is nie die dorp se seentjie nie. Ek is 'n plaas se seentjie. I've always had in my heart a passion to make a difference. I can remember as young as I was in the school, from my school year, I started organizations, clubs, youth clubs, and I've always wanted to make a difference, to be one of the people that can make a difference. And no wonder I ended up as a pastor in the small town of Roosendaal. Is very close to Senekal, where I stay. I'm actually speaking from Senekal now. Roosendaal is about 30 km from Senekal. And I started my ministry exactly when I finished school. I felt there was a calling upon my life, and I followed that calling. And as a pastor, you are taught to run a church and to be a good shepherd and to focus on those people in your flock. But there was a time that I felt there must be more to the church. There must be more to the calling. It can't be just going to church on Sunday and come back and go to work and go to church on Sunday. Surely there has to be more. And I started searching in my heart, significance even beyond the church. had an opportunity to be accepted in a Christian college down in Stellenbosch called ALICT, African Leadership Institution, where I was trained as a community transformation. I did a community transformation and leadership. And when I came back, I felt that I needed to make a difference in my community through the church. And we started, starting projects from the church where we were feeding children, and we were impacting the lives of young people, and helping others that with life skills and different skills, just to empower the young people. And that journey took me to a place where I felt that there is so much brokenness in our community, and I realized that most of that brokenness is as a result of a poor leadership that we have especially in our government, in our politics. And knowing that I'm not a politician myself, but I felt that we needed to have men and women of integrity and people who really, really carry the passion for the people in their hearts, not those who put their positions before the people or ahead of the people, or put their parties ahead of the people. I've had a share of disappointment myself, working with councillors and working with politicians in my community. And I really felt that we needed to step up, because I became tired of always pointing fingers and blaming. And I had to ask myself, what am I doing? And if I want somebody to step up and I'm not willing to step up, I'm not actually even worthy to complain. And I felt that the Lord was opening a door for me to come into politics. And then unfortunately or fortunately, I found myself as one of the councillors in my municipality. The door opened in the Democratic Alliance, the DA, of which for me that was the most difficult time, because as we had a conversation before, a lot of people will look at the professionalism, or to say, hey, the DA is very good, and they run professional municipality. But as a child of God, you know in your heart that the values are actually clutching. The values are actually not going to are not coming together. But I know that the Lord led me to be in that for a season, for me to learn about the political environment, of which I've learned a lot. But I also felt that it was not a place for me, because I could not freely, as a Christian, I could not freely express myself. And time and again, I was told, that you are a liberal and you have to think like a liberal. And these are the things that I really struggled with until I felt the Lord was saying, your time and season is over. And the Lord closed that door, and I walked out of that system, and then I went back into my civil movement or community development project, and I got very much involved here in Senegal during the times when we had the standoff between the EFF and the farmers here in Senegal. I had a privilege to play a pivotal role in facilitating peace and building bridges between the communities of Senegal and Mathuhle, which is our township. And that is something that I really enjoyed. And I was carrying on with that. And of course, I met with Dr. Arno van Niekerk. And together with Dr. Arno van Niekerk, we started a movement called Time to Rise, with the sole purpose of uniting the church, or the believers, to say the believers, those who believe in God and those who are concerned about communities and those who are concerned about the nation, who says, you know, we want to do something. We don't only just want to pray for our nation, but we want to roll up our sleeves and we want to get involved. And we've done that with him for about 2 years. And then the vision for hope was emerged, or was birthed out of a group of leaders that were part of what we called a governance wall within Time to Rise. And these were people, experts that were, discussing blueprints concerning government, concerning education. How can we turn around the governance and the government in South Africa? And out of those men, they felt the need to take that further, not only just talking about the solutions, but to say, how can we implement this solution if we are not part of the system? And it was through that process that I also got involved, as a result of the confirmation when I prayed to the Lord, and I felt the Lord said, this is the time. I've actually prepared you for a time such as this. And I got involved in the initial birthing of hashtag Hope for South Africa. And then we've been going since last year, December. And by the grace of God, we are now registered, and we have registered to be on the ballot paper to be voted for National Assembly and also for regional. And we also were able to open up Gauteng province for legislature and Northern Cape. And the other provinces we couldn't open because of the time span that the IEC gave us on those signatures, if you remember, Colin. But yeah, we are thankful and we are grateful that at least we will be representing a true voice of people who are truly concerned about this nation. Yeah. So I thought I'd just give you a nutshell so that you can really understand where I'm coming from. I'm sorry for the long explanation, but I felt it was important.
I asked you to give it to us, and you've given it to me. I've got a better understanding of your background and so. Now I'm going to ask you this question.
Yeah.
I'm a Boer.
Yeah.
I like the Russians.
Okay.
And I'm against the Zionists.
Yeah.
Tell me, why should I vote for you?
Yeah. Let me just to give a background, and I think also on a personal level. I had an opportunity to visit Israel recently. I was invited by an organization called Friends of Israel. And this is an organization that has been in South Africa, I think, for more than 20 years. And their vision is to garner a support some sort of a support or a relationship between South Africa. They are actually everywhere in the world, between South Africa and the nation of Israel. Most of the people who are part of the Friends of Israel are Christians, are pastors, most of them. And when the massacre happened on the 7th of October in Israel, through the whole situation of Hamas, I felt a great concern in my heart, and that was even before Israel could retaliate. And I mean, just the way that was actually conducted, the inhumane acts that were committed during that time. And I had now an opportunity to be there and to interview some of the victims and the parents and some of those that were released, that were kept with Hamas, and just to get really the story and the facts on the ground, because sometimes when you listen to the news, you don't always get the whole truth. And I'm not claiming that I've got the whole truth because I have been there, but at least I could certify myself with some of the facts and I had an opportunity to ask some questions. And I was very moved by that because I'm one person that really believe in the protection of the innocents, and I believe that I believe in peace, and that is a big part of my calling as a bridge builder. And I felt that what has happened there was totally wrong, although there are reasons and historic reasons. And I mean, now that people are debating it, a lot of information is coming out. But I looked at it from the place of, how it happened and how it was staged. And I really felt that I needed to connect myself and to satisfy myself with what has actually happened there. And unfortunately now you also have a situation where Israel is in a way retaliating in a way where innocent lives are also lost on the other side. So but yes.
Okay. I can see that you are trying to explain something.
Yeah.
Let me help you with this.
Yeah.
If I say that your visit to Israel was by invitation of that group that you mentioned, and your visit to Israel was not by a Zionist grouping specific. Am I correct? Okay.
Yes, you are correct, because I only learned about the Zionist group actually when I got to Israel, and I didn't even know the difference.
All right,
but
let's not
somebody,
waste time.
yeah,
The fact is this. The fact is this. The concern is that you, and by definition, Hope for SA is on the wagon with the Zionists, and that would be a big mistake. In your explanation, you were mentioning that it was Christian pastors and so that went there. For me, that is enough. Now, okay, so that's one of the things that the Boer in me don't want to see, that story of chommy with the Zionists. We don't want to see that. Okay.
Definitely.
Next thing is this.
I've had stories about the Zionists, and I still have to investigate more. And maybe you can teach me more, Colleen. I'm willing to learn. It seems like you have got a lot of information. I have to be honest. I haven't actually spent time on the Zionists. As I said, it was only based on a Christian invitation. Yeah.
Okay, I understand that. So from me as a Boer, I want to say to you, if your party members walk around with that Israeli flag around their necks and so forth, that doesn't give me a warm and fuzzy feeling.
Yeah.
And it's by association, I understand it, but that's one of the things. The other thing is this. As a Boer, I'm a guy that seriously believes in self-determination.
Yes.
That is something that we want.
Yeah,
I've listened
definitely.
to Diane, and she's explained to me some stuff, and I like the fact that you guys are focusing on the communities. You are dead committed to community, from community level up.
Yes,
now,
definitely.
In that, I can see that there will be room for communities arranging and managing themselves.
Exactly.
And if you want to go technical, we can start talking about something like cantons and things like that, which I believe in. I believe that's the future.
Definitely.
For different reasons, as I explained. So for me as a Boer sitting here, looking at Hope for SA, and I say, okay, I understand the Zionist confusion now. It's not an issue. You are not Zionist supporters. You went to Israel as Christians to go and see what the hell is going on there. That I can understand. Now, we come to South Africa. Your party, some of your most prominent spokesmen is obviously preachers. I'm just going to call it preachers. Or,
yes.
But what we need is industrial, commercial leadership. We haven't seen many of those. I haven't seen many, but I've been told that they are there and that you guys has got plans for South Africa. How to fix the infrastructure, how to fix Eskom, how to fix this, how to fix that. You have got plans and you've got the manpower to do it.
Yes.
So, okay. Then I can say, all right, here I'm sitting with a party that is Christian-based, but they're not Bible-punching. The fact that they are Christian-based must give me the assurance that these guys are going to be accountable and they will be good custodians. Stewardship. How much attention in your inner circles is given to stewardship and accountability?
That is an excellent question, Colin, and I really love just how you coiled it. And one of the privilege that we have, or advantage that we have, is that even though some of us are, coming from a preacher background, and as you have already mentioned, and there are some that are very, vocal and very forward in terms of that. But the good thing is that we have what we call the council of experts. It's almost like your advisory council. And in that council, we have experts, people that can give an advice, and especially when we talk about agriculture, the economy. Dr. Arno van Niekerk, he's a professor, he's an economist, and he sits into that council. He contributed immensely into our manifesto that we will be revealing on Saturday. We have people that advise in health that are experts in that area. And that is actually for us an advantage, that even though we still also have those that are qualified who are part of our leaders, but we also have a group or a team of experts who are also Christians, but not only praying and preaching, but these are people that understand the issues that we are dealing with in our nation, and they've got solutions. And these are the people that we benchmark everything that we do. And you will see our manifesto. I think you're going to be the first person to receive a copy. And I just know that you're going to like it, even though you are open to criticize it, and we can talk about it, because we are a work in progress as well. But we are very grateful that we can have people that can give a sound advice and that can breathe into even the documents that we have to put out there in the public.
I like the fact that you are referring many times to that you have your councils. Because that is to me typical Christian behavior. You have to listen to your advisors.
Exactly.
You have to listen to the wise men. You have to listen.
Be accountable.
Now, another question that I've got for you is that, okay, how much commitment does Hope for SA have to the core family? In other words, father, mother, and children. How important is that?
Yes, I don't have enough words to describe how important family is, and the battle against the family in South Africa through these evil bills and laws that you see. The sole purpose is to uproot the very foundation that communities are based on, are built on. The nation, the very nation that we are now calling our nation, is built on the values of the family, the foundation of a family. If you don't have a family, you've got nothing. And that is actually the most important thing. In fact, That's how we see government. If we can run a government and we can run a country with the model of family and a true model of family, I think we will be able to solve a lot of things here.
Okay, I understand that. And I'm satisfied for now with that answer, because for me,
Yeah, very important, Colin.
I'm a tribalist.
Yeah.
I'm of firm belief,
Yeah.
and I have
Yes.
bleated it out on my channel. The
Yeah.
only people that is going to survive this satanic onslaught on humanity are the tribes. It's only the tribes that's going to survive.
Wow.
These guys that has got no cultural family bonds together that they share, they are going to be slaughtered.
Yeah.
It's the tribes, it's the families that will survive.
Yeah.
Because they can stand up against this. All right.
Exactly.
Now, another question that someone asked me is, what is your general attitude towards BRICS?
Yeah. Oh, BRICS. That is a bag of mixed potato. To be honest with you,
Can I help you? Can I help you?
Yeah.
Let me help you.
Okay.
Let's leave the BRICS nations.
Yeah.
Let's leave their internal affairs out. That some of them are Muslims, some of them are Hindus, some of them I don't know what, and all of that. Let's leave that out. I'm talking about the concept.
Yes.
Of association. I've said it many times in my Skidmarks. I say, let's be good neighbors. I'm not saying let's intermarry. I'm not saying let's start moving together into one house. Let's be good neighbor. Let's be good neighbors. Now, the problem is that a lot of my support listeners, they can see that the future is with BRICS. And I'm talking now about the commercial future is with BRICS. The Western Empire is collapsing.
It's collapsing.
It is so rotten that nothing can actually save it. They've been hollowed out and they've been fermented and they frot, man. They cannot make it. The future is with let's call it the traditional slaves of the West.
Okay.
That's where the future lies. And I am just trying to figure out, are you against the BRICS idea or are you not against it?
Yeah, it is something that we have debated internally, and I mean, just a couple of days I spoke to Dr. Arno again because he's an economist, and just to pick up his brain on that, we haven't actually had a definite position in terms of that, because we also, exactly as you say, we can see that the West is also collapsing, and there are also evils that we don't like that is coming from the West. And there are also threats that are also now coming with the BRICS as well, that we don't like. But as a country, you can't just be neutral. There's a place to be neutral. At some point, you have to decide which one are you actually going to go with. And I can say to you at this moment within Hope, we don't have a definite position that we agreed on. We're still consulting to say, because you need to investigate. If you say BRICS is bad, you have to actually qualify that, and how bad are they? And I mean, compared to what? That's what Arno will always say as an economist, compared to what? If they are bad, are they bad compared to the West? But I really believe that there is a shifting that is happening, and one cannot deny that. There's a global shifting that is happening. And we will have to position ourselves as especially as Hope, but also as South Africa. But what is actually concerning for me, and what I see now with the current government, the ANC, their connection and how they are using BRICS is very concerning for me, because I see a threat of terrorism and alignment with some of the terrorist countries. And for me, that is, commercially and economic wise, and in terms of that, I think BRICS present a number of opportunities, as much as we also had with the West. But I'm not satisfied how South Africa is handling this currently.
I can understand it, because it's an international secret that this ANC is so corrupt that it's unbelievable, and they will find corruption opportunities everywhere. And
yeah.
I think that, but I'll do a talk on it one day if we have time. I know for a fact that the ANC is not really loved in BRICS, because you must understand, it's intelligent people there. There's intelligent people in BRICS. They can see what's going on. They know what's going on. But as you know, corruption is like, it's almost like a mosquito.
Yeah,
the thing goes wherever it can find blood, it will go there.
Yeah,
and that is the thing. Well, John, I think you have cleared up a few things for me.
Yeah.
Maybe you have picked up some stuff from me.
Yeah.
And I'm going to conclude this and say, listen, I have no problem in promoting Hope for SA as an option to vote for, because the rest that we're sitting there with, most of them are, man, there's not a nice word from the bloody Satanists, and that's it. And don't want any part of their nonsense. And okay, but that's the thing. And I'm sure my viewers are going to come with a lot of responses and comments on this, and we can take it further. This was not, I was never of the opinion that this interaction between you and me is going to be a grilling session, because that is not, that serves no purpose at this moment. A little bit later, and as the election comes closer, you're going to sit here with the Boerieman, and I'm going to nail you on stuff that you guys have been doing. And
on the manifesto,
what. At this point in time, I see Hope for SA as a safe choice for me as a Christian. The fact that you guys understand that communities belongs together gives me it gives me peace of mind when when me and my friends come to you and say, listen, this area of ours, we're only white guys here, we're Boere, and that our council is not going to be run like that one there in let's say Mamelodi. We're not going to run it like that. We want it like this. And accountability, good stewardship, and transparency. And that is the main thing. And those are characteristics of Christianity. And that is part and parcel of a man that's a Christian. I said to Diane earlier today, I said to her, listen, just be careful. Don't brand Hope for SA. Don't do it. Let Hope for SA be judged on the fruits of the tree, not on the tag that is sitting there. In the gardens, you get to a tree and there's a green tag on it telling you what tree it is.
I think that is wisdom, Colin. Sure. I
Don't
love that.
Let Hope for SA be identified by the tag. Let them be identified by the fruit.
By the fruit. Oh, I love that. Yeah, I really love that. I think that is wisdom, and that is very valuable. And you know, I'm listening to you, and I'm feeling, and this is the heart that we also carry, to say, if we're gonna build South Africa, if we're gonna you have to include the people. You cannot include people to vote only, but we need this kind of inputs, because the solution actually is not with the politician. The solutions are with the people. The people have been disenfranchised with bringing solutions that works for them and for their communities. And I think that is the true government, and that is what we need to emphasize on, to say, if we want solutions, you must go to the people that has got issues, because they know how to solve those solutions. But the government has set itself apart.
I told my followers, if we vote for this party, they have no defense for not listening to what we say.
Definitely.
Because it's us that voted for them.
Yes.
And we have a politically moral bankrupt establishment in the country that not are accountable to the people. They are above that. And that is what we are fed up with. John, it was great talking to you. Enjoy it. Ek weet nie of jy nou gaan braai of wat gaan jy nou doen nie. Ek het nou oor 5 minute het ek 'n conference met Wynand de Tooy en they're gonna grill me. I know they're gonna grill me.
Man, ek waardeer dit baie. Ja, ons het lekker gekuier en lekker gesels. And yes, I'm looking forward to the next session. And thank you so much for the opportunity.
Have a great evening.
Okay, thank you, Colleen.